Hey y'all, it's Austin with Grand Welcome of Destin to Miramar Beach. Today we're going to be talking about Destin real estate values and why they're never going to go down, why they're only going to go up. If you are a short-term vacation rental property owner partnered with us, hopefully this gives you some peace of mind. This is really though mainly for the people they're looking for the next best place to invest in a short-term vacation rental, or they're kind of on the fence. Maybe they're thinking about, do I do Destin or do I do Miami Beach? Where am I going? So let's just go ahead and get on into it. Now, to those who are not super familiar with the tourism industry here, Destin sees over 4 million vacationers a year. And while that number might not sound very high, when you consider that Destin, Florida is only about 8 square miles, it's really just Highway 98. And the north side of Highway 98 is mainly residential, and most of that is not even zoned for short term rentals. The south side on the beach, much of that area is zoned for short term rentals, and that's where the majority of the commercial stuff happens, to the south side of Destin. Now, if you really think about it, 8 square miles, 4 million people a season, that is crazy. It's the same reason that it can take 20 minutes to drive from one end of Destin to the other in December. But then in July, when occupancy rates are close to 100%, it can take 2 hours to drive from one end of Destin to the other. That's even if you cheat and you use the back roads. So it's a huge area for travel. There's a lot of unique value that Destin has to offer in terms of travel. Now, our smooth, soft, white, sandy beaches is a really rare formation. You don't find sand this white and soft anywhere else in the world. It's actually almost pure. It's about 99% pure silica quartz crystal. It's literally beach sand made of crystal. People love it. That's what Destin is famous for, is the white sandy beaches. So you can't find that anywhere else. It's why we get the emerald coast. It's why our waters are so emerald green hued, because the sun goes through the water, hits the sand, is reflected right back, and you kind of get that imprint of the sky on the water, and it looks really cool. People love that. Then you've got Destin's the world's luckiest fishing village. We house the largest fishing fleet out of a single port in the United States. The recreational fishing industry here is some of the best in the world. We have the closest proximity to an ocean drop-off shelf. So, 4-hour trip in Destin versus a 4-hour trip out of Texas. You're going to get the most fishing out of the Destin trip because you're not going to spend so much time driving to the shelf. Or I should say sailing. You're on a boat, right? But anywho, so there's just so much tourism here. There's the unique value that the city of Destin has in terms of what people that are spending the money traveling want to experience. They can't find anywhere else. And these factors keep Destin real estate values high, even in the off season. We have all the snowbirds that want to come down here because it doesn't snow here. They're coming from New York and North Dakota and places that are freezing over. So we don't have as high occupancy rates, in the off season. We're probably looking at, 40 to 60% occupancy rates. And then in the heat of the season, the summer, we're looking at 90 to 100% occupancy rates, which is still really good if you're a short-term vacation rental property owner. And that asset is not going to go down in terms of your property value for the reason of this recreational travel. And it's not just the recreational travel. There's also the professional aspect of the travel here. So if you look at all the military presence, the Eglin Air Force Base, Duke Field, Hurlburt, there's a lot of military personnel that has to run these bases. Eglin's actually one of the largest Air Force bases in the world. And, the military, what they do is for the housing, they don't care what the price is. It's as long as it's comparable to, equal value of similar homes in the area, they're going to write that check for their personnel to be housed here. And when you consider, all the military presence here, and all the tourism here, housing prices just keep going up. I mean, you can't rent anything for under $2,000 in Destin, even apartments. And the home values just keep going up. When you see the housing market crashes, the areas that are affected by that are, like landlocked, Midwestern areas. It doesn't really happen here on the coast, especially with all the military presence, and there's just such a demand for travel here. Your real estate value and the property that you purchase, whether it's when you buy it, it's a buyer's or a seller's market. And if you decide later on to sell it, regardless of what market it is, its value is going to be up. It might stay the same for a little bit, but if you hold on to your property for 5, 10, 20 years, the value is going to be significantly higher. Now, property taxes will go up, and if you haven't paid your property off, your insurance is going to continue to go up. But if you don't have to, worry too much about homeowners insurance from, trying to pay off that mortgage, then it's really not going to eat you up. But I really hope that if you are looking for that next best area to invest in, that you consider Destin, because it's just, you're going to get your money's back from the property value increase alone. If you rent the property out as a short-term vacation rental and you let us here with Grand Welcome, if you let us manage the property, we're going to generate you revenue while that asset appreciates in value. And then whenever you want to use the property for your own vacations, you just call us up. Hey, I'm traveling with the family. We're going to be there at this time. We'll make sure it doesn't get booked out. You could use your property for your own vacations while it makes you money when you're not there. And the property is going to appreciate in value. I mean, it is guaranteed to appreciate in value. So please, if you're considering, holler at us. We have actually a network of realtors we can push you through to. They'll help you find the best property to fit your needs and your budget. And once you've secured the property and closed, we will onboard as your property manager and we'll maximize its revenue. So that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Until next time.